All right, on the production support, production troubleshooting issues, we've got search back in time and we're going to document it. So searching back in time, we're going to narrow it down. So we've got kind of an issue. Keep narrowing it down until you search and coming up with a hypothesis on why XYZ is happening. So my example, if there are 2 data centers, each with 4 servers, check each of an individual server and hit 101A, 102, 101B, 101C, so on and so forth. And it's quite common that one of them will be in a bad state. Another option is to narrow it down by service. So web development, it's kind of a interconnecting of many technologies. So test out each service and see what the point of failure is. This could be an API. It could be a specific API vendor, like the weather.com API is coming in, and you can narrow it down to that API that's failing. And it could be failing for a couple of reasons. It could be, hey, the key expired. Look at this, the status code. 200 is good, but 400 is an error, 500 is an error. Typically, 500 is a server error on their end, and 400 is could be in not found. Error 404, the endpoint changed, or 403, the authentication failed. That kind of thing. This is super broad brush, so don't think that, hey, if you get a 500 error, it's 100% the client or the component team's problem. You need to dig into it, but getting down to that closer will help out. So some common ones, as I was saying, is, did you get a response from the API? Is it giving an error that could indicate an auth issue, expired certificates, password? Did you get data back? Yes, but is the data wrong? Maybe reach out to if there's a database team or component team, and dig into how this data is ingested. Where does it come from? Does it come from the FTP, from the client, or from a vendor? If it's all the way at the front end, what you see is a front end page or module not rendering at all. Is there like a data type change, or is there error handling that should have been implemented, but the data is going through, and for some reason or another, the front end is not failing gracefully. And also, sitting and thinking is helpful. So just sit, think through a problem occurring at hand. Can be tough to do because there's usually support. Our client is often asking you for updates. Typically, there's different SLAs, like every 15 minutes, every couple hours, every day. They're all different based on the contract agreement. So yeah, just sit, think about it, even write it out. I like to use a pen or pad and draw it. A lot of us are technical. We'll have our apps, phones, technology is super helpful, but I find going analog sometimes and drawing it out on a piece of paper, drawing the services, diagrams, that kind of thing, can really help out and get some ideas coming to you. And you can even talk it out loud, like kind of like rubber duck debugging. It might sound strange just talking aloud in an empty room, or if you're working from home in front of your family or friends or roommates. But if you just talk out loud, think things through, draw it out, you'll definitely jog some memories. And even if you don't, you can reach out to people that can help you. And then as you're doing this, be overly communicative about what you find. So you'll be bugged quite a bit for updates, what progress has been made. Still investigating is a perfectly okay answer. A better answer would be over communicate on what your findings are. So I'm doing X. I think it's Y. So I'm looking at this server pool. I think it might be one of these 4 servers. I'm trying to replicate that on this one here. And oftentimes others can chime in and possibly help you out in your debug efforts. Maybe there was a recent issue a week back, couple weeks back or so, and they're like, oh yeah, this sounds familiar to this service. And another benefit will let you know it before you invest any more time into it. And then if still stuck, reach out to other experts. So eventually, everyone needs to call for help at one point or another. It's nothing ventured, nothing gained. And we'll go ahead and pick this up here going forward on the last section.